Today, we are going to a country that does not exist. It has no recognition from any sovereign state anywhere in the world. And yet they have their own passport, their own government, their own army, their own currency. But what they don't have is any diplomatic relations with any country officially. In fact, the US government and many other governments specifically warn you not to go here because if you get in trouble there, they can't help you. But I did my research, I weighed the pros and cons, and I decided that I'm okay to take that risk. I want to go and see the people that live there. So without any further ado, let's go to Transnistria. It is a beautiful day here. It's like 72 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it's gorgeous. This is going to be such a wonderful day to walk around. There he is. What's good? This is Pavel.
Let's go.
He's going to be our guide for today.
Where are we going?
We're going to Transnistria, which I'm told we're not supposed to call it that when we're in there.
Yeah,
there's a different word for it, right?
Transnistria, yes.
I'm smart. I know shit.
You got prepared.
I got prepared. I did my research.
Go to jail, right?
I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah.
Speaking of jail, one of the things about going here, the U.S. government, where I'm a citizen, has no formal relations, or any relations really, with this place. So if something does happen to me, I have no protection. I have no embassy to call. So that's one of the reasons
I'm the only one.
Yeah, he can call hopefully, and that's why the U.S. government and pretty much all governments advise against travel to this region. Okay, so how long does it take to get where we're going, roughly?
Let me check. It's like 1 hour, 20 minutes.
Okay.
It's 65 kilometers.
So 65 kilometers, 40 miles. So there's like a bus you can take, right? To get from Chisinau to Tiraspol.
Yes, you can get the bus from Chisinau to every city in Moldova. To Tiraspol for sure, because it's a big one. It's a big city. Historically, this territory was Ukraine. When the USSR was formed, they reassembled the country. Like they said, this is Moldova, and they did a new border. But back, like a few centuries ago, this territory never was never.
Gotcha.
But the south part of Moldova was taken to Ukraine. Now there is a big territory which goes to Black Sea. Now is Ukraine, but originally it's Moldova.
Gotcha. So they took one part of Moldova and they gave you a different part.
They did it on purpose. They mix, the people. So when it destroys, there is conflict. They keep the control.
Right.
That's all over the USSR. A lot of this type of territories. If we had now the south part of Moldova with the Black Sea, access to Black Sea, I think the economically would be much better.
All right, so we're approaching the border, which means camera is going away. I will see you on the other side. All right, and about 10 minutes later, we are in, and most of that 10 minutes was honestly just sitting in a line of cars waiting for them to get in. So our process only took about 30 seconds. They asked where we were going, were we here for tourism or what, and when we were leaving, and that was it. They let us in. Quick search of the car, and we're through. So welcome to Transnistria. Yeah, I mean, you could just tell like all these buildings are very like Soviet era, just giant concrete blocks, and all the Western brands have disappeared. Like there's no McDonald's, there's no like any sign of Western brands at all. I literally feel like I just drove into Russia. At least I'm assuming. I've never been to Russia, but if I had to guess what it feels like this.
Not in Moscow. Moscow feels very contemporary, modern. Of course, there are some new buildings like gas stations.
But the most part of it looks old. It's old. It's not just like them trying to recreate the old style. It's just that it was never updated.
These are police stations, the old ones.
They still function?
Police. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, this is literally like jumping in a time capsule and going back to the USSR. This is crazy. Even here in Transnistria, you still find a Tesla Model Y parked in the parking lot. That's how much Tesla has penetrated the world automotive market. So here's our migration card that we got at the border. So this basically tells them that we're allowed in, how long we're planning on staying. So it says that we are leaving today. This is basically their version of a passport stamp. And you have to show those cards at the border in order to leave. Otherwise, they don't let you leave. So we can't lose them. Imagine any Western tourist attraction that only had 10 cars in its parking lot. That's like literally never. So they actually have their own currency here. So we were hoping to find somewhere to exchange Moldovan money for Transnistria money, but we haven't found a place to do that. So in the meantime, we are going to hope that they will take the Moldovan money.
It says, I love Vendera.
It's so quiet.
Yeah. It's quiet, peaceful. It's Monday, bro.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody's working.
And weekend, usually it's there are people. More people. Oh, this is like Alexander Nevsky. It's a Russian guy. Oh, this is the Stefan the Great in Chisinau, that statue.
The statue that's on the main road.
Stefan the Great is the big guy here. He was one of the greatest kings of Moldova. I think, not one of, he's the greatest king of Moldova, that's why.
There's so much more history here than I could possibly take in and even like communicate in a video. But basically, this fortress was really just designed to protect against invaders coming across the river here. And it's changed hands a bunch of times. Turkish, Russians, a whole bunch of people. That's basically the importance of all of this that you see here.
Going inside.
And we're going inside.
All the citadels in Moldova, Ukraine. There is another one, Ankerman, in Ukraine. So this part was Moldova, basically. This one.
Gotcha.
You see, this part was Moldova. Now is Ukraine. Like here. We're here.
It's cool. They have this whole like map of all the different fortresses, even like down into Bulgaria. Yeah, I mean the amount of history in this region is just crazy.
They do concerts. Open air.
Yeah, no, they have like a stage, and then they also have like seating and a projector screen. Just watching movies in an old fortress, an old Soviet fortress. It's so funny to think that like this is basically what a military base was back then.
Yeah.
And how the concept of a military base has just totally changed because of the nature of the weapons that we have these days. Like a fortress like this doesn't make sense. Like this is not easily defendable anymore against modern technology. But back then this was like the king of all defensive setups. All right, we're gonna climb up these incredibly steep steps with whatever. This looks like it was supposed to be blocked off, but looks like it's not anymore. So we're just gonna go for it. I don't think it's coming across on video just how steep these steps are. Each of these steps is like 1.5 feet tall. Really gotta lift your knees to get in here. Oh, it's windy in here. All the wind just collects. So these are all reconstructed. They look authentic.
You can see the old ones. Oh,
Yeah.
these are old ones.
How like beaten up they are.
Yes.
versus these. Yeah. It's cool though that like the original stuff is still here,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But they didn't just knock it down and call it a lost cause and then rebuild it brand new. They actually just added new stuff to the old stuff. Don't be under the influence of alcohol while you're on the viewpoint. They do have a bar downstairs, so I could see it. And it's also weight restricted, 500 kilograms. All right, we're gonna take these stairs up here to go to the very top of the viewpoint. Let's see what the view looks like from up there. This would never fly in the US. Feels way too rickety to be approved by anybody.
Okay.
All right, here we go. There's your view.
Oh, that's old.
So that's the actual city of Bender there. I'll try and get some closer footage of it to edit in here, because if you look at the actual buildings, like you can tell they're all just very old Soviet style.
That's a military.
I can't even explain like how quiet it is here. There's like probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 other people in the fortress right now, plus us. And like, it's just so quiet. I feel like any tourist attraction like this that I've ever been to is just so overpopulated and so overcrowded that like you can't even really take it in, because it's just a bunch of tourists with cameras and backpacks. But today there's only one tourist with a camera, and that's me, so I'm okay with it. And like Papa was saying before, this basically has been kind of like partially reconstructed and rebuilt. Part of that funding comes from the EU, some from Moldova, but overall it's the best maintained like historical thing in Transnistria, so it tends to be the biggest tourist attraction, which you wouldn't really know judging by the lack of people here right now, but it supposedly is the biggest tourist attraction here. So this was basically used as like a frontline thing right up until 1812 when the treaty was signed, and then it continued being like barracks, and it had other military uses that weren't really like frontline fighting all the way up until the end of the Soviet era, so the 90s. And then they were working on reconstruction for a while, and it opened to the public in 2008. So it was closed for a while. There was a long time where you couldn't come here. Nobody really was here. And back down we go. All right, so now we're gonna go over there. Check this out. You can see like right through here, maybe it's hard to know if this was, you know, supposed to be like this or if it just disintegrated over the years, but I could see like guns pointing out of this, or arrows, or even just lookouts, because up here you're kind of exposed, but in there you'd be way less exposed to whoever's coming at you. Yeah, like that. Yep, exactly. Yeah, so it looks like down there is the museum, so we're gonna go in there next. Let's head downstairs. You can even see these stairs have like chunks taken out of them. You really gotta watch where you're going here. We just found the Museum of Torture. Let's see what's in here.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah. This is definitely torturous. Oh my god. Look at this. Dude, imagine you have your arm shoved in there. So they used to interrogate people by putting them in this chair.
Naked.
And look at, you got like your arms in here digging into your wrists. And then you got these spikes here. And you're sitting on spikes.
Look at this thing.
Oh my god. Hard pass. Hard fucking pass. So this was the Iron Maiden, and basically it's like a box with spikes inside, and you put the person inside, and then once they're in there, you close it and you can change the position of the spikes based on whether you want them to die quickly or if you want to torture them for a longer period of time. So there's like one setting for like it just kills you, and then there's a different setting for like torture you slowly.
That's fucked up.
These were like bindings. There's so much crazy stuff in here. And then right in the middle, there's what appears to be like a cell. So I guess while you were awaiting your torture or execution, they probably keep you down there, and then they could just pull you right out when it was time to put you in the Iron Maiden or the crazy spiky chair. And then they also have like a whole museum here with all the different like artifacts from the different eras that the fortress was used. Even different coins from different generations of control over this region. You can see they have a Turkish flag here, since the Turkish used to be in control of the fortress. And it's kind of a depiction of what it would have looked like during that time. And an old Turkish weapons. Look at these different daggers that would have been used. And then like full-size swords. And more down here. And they even have fragments of old gravestones. And it's like old Arabic writing on it. I definitely cannot read that, but maybe one of you can. Some old pistols here. I mean, it's really crazy when you think about like the number of different eras that this place has seen, right? From, you know, the most basic knives and swords all the way up to, you know, guns, pistols, rifles. Because again, it was still being used for something all the way up into the 90s. So like it's seen some degree of modern technology, but it's also seen sticks and stones. So here's a layout of the whole place. Right now we're like right there in that building in the corner. But this is what the whole thing looked like. It was basically a city in and of itself. Okay, so a couple of first thoughts here as we come to the end of our first stop in Transnistria. I think this is a very valuable place to come if you are interested in history, particularly European history and even more particularly Eastern European history, because so much of it happened here that there is probably very few better places to learn about it and see some of the real places where these major historical events happened and where some of these artifacts are held than here, right? And you have the benefit of then seeing something that a lot of people don't ever get to see. People see the travel advisories where their countries, their embassies are telling them, don't travel there. I get it. I understand why that makes people nervous, but sometimes taking that little bit of a risk and you push your boundaries just a little bit, you end up somewhere like this where you get to see something that millions and millions of people who are interested in the same things and who go to all the other museums that you go to and all the other historical sites that you go to will never see. So that's just some of my thoughts. I highly recommend coming. Now we're going to make our way to Tiraspol, the capital of Transnistria, the main city here. So we're going to get back in the car and we're going to head over there. So that market there is owned by this company, Sharif, which basically is like the conglomerate here in Transnistria, where they own all of the essential services for the most part. So they own the gas stations, the supermarkets. I think I read that they own the telecom companies as well. And like that, you can see there's a Sharif gas station. Yeah, they own like all the big like companies here are all under them. And here we are coming into Tiraspol, the capital. All right, guys, so we are here in Tiraspol, Transnistria, and the first thing we see hopping out the car is this car. Just like an old, you said it's an old Soviet era car?
Yes. Zaporozhets.
Wow, look at this, guys. So we decided we're just gonna park, walk a little bit, and just kind of explore the city and see what we find here. We'll see what Tiraspol is all about. We've made it to the big statue of Lenin here in Tiraspol, and it's right in front of one of the big government buildings. So I'm not really sure how much of this we can actually film. I definitely don't want to get in trouble here. And I believe filming government buildings is not permitted. So this might be a pretty quick stop here on our walk, but we're gonna go check it out. So I was trying to be subtle here with filming because the building that the statue's in front of is actually the Transnistrian parliament. So it's a pretty sensitive building and they don't like you filming. But basically this statue went up in 1987, a few years before the Soviet Union collapsed, and they decided to keep it up to kind of celebrate their Soviet history. How many people get to come here and see shit like this? So few. I don't know a single person that's come here. This feels like a very major street to cross with no crosswalk and no traffic lights. So right across from the Lenin statue and the big government building is this World War II memorial, so we can go and take a look at this. Okay, well this is where your Russian skills are going to come in handy, because I can't read Cyrillic. So what does that say?
Like in the memory of those who protected us in the Second World War, and much respect and honor for them.
And basically this whole section here is kind of just like one big monument and memorial. So it looks like there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 maybe, 14 of these plaques. Oh, there's actually more over there too. So there's a bunch. There's probably maybe almost 20 of these like plaques, and all of them have names inscribed on it. It looks like they go in alphabetical order. I'm just guessing. Again, I can't read Cyrillic. I don't know the Russian alphabet, but it looks like they all list out the names of people who died during World War II. My guess is that most of these are soldiers, but I guess it's possible that there's civilians in here too. Let me know if you know down in the comments. Let me know if you kind of know more about what this is and kind of what the names are. Are they soldiers? Are they civilians? Let me know in the comments. Normally I would look it up and then be able to tell you that information, but my phone is not working here. I have no service. So you have the eternal flame here for the fallen soldiers from World War II. So this just never goes out. It's always lit up. They have the same thing in Chisinau as well. And it's so interesting as we're walking around now, we see like, you know, all of the old buildings and things that really haven't been updated since the Soviet era, but then you also see these like brand new, you know, glass, ultra modern restaurants, and you really get to see like the contrast between the old Soviet stuff and the more modern stuff, and just seeing it like basically right next to each other is so cool. Such an interesting contrast how both of these things can live at the exact same time, even though one of them is inherently incredibly old. I stumbled on this park and it looks gorgeous. It looks very well manicured. Look at like big open walkways. One thing I'm noticing, I feel like everything is big. They did everything big.
Yeah, it's like it's a Soviet.
Yeah, like the roads
design,
are wide,
big,
the sidewalks are wide,
Yes.
the statues are tall, even like the big plaques with the soldiers' names on it were huge, you know? Like a lot of times you'd see like the font written very small to fit a lot of names on there, but nope, the font was massive. Like they rather do a whole lot of really big planks to fit everybody's name rather than make the font small. Like everything here seems to be done big. That's one of the things I'm really noticing. We're gonna check out this park here.
I was The only time I was in Tiraspol is like going with the car through.
Yeah.
That on
But not
this-
stopping.
Yeah, not stopping. Just, I stopped once to eat, to have lunch somewhere. That's it. I never walked on the streets, doing a tour. It's something new for me as well. I'll come back for sure.
There's like a whole playground area, families, kids. I mean, this is the stuff that, like, whenever there's an area that either, mainstream media talks negatively about, or, has a bad rep around the world, or that's just not talked about at all, everyone's idea of it is always negative. People have this tendency to focus on negative things. Well, I'm walking through this gorgeous park in the center of this city that most of the world doesn't even know exists. And if you do know it exists, you probably have a negative opinion of it or a negative preconception of it. And I'm having a great time. People are just enjoying their day. Families are out. Kids are playing. This is why I love travel, man. You get to see the real world, not just what the media shows you or what biased governments want you to know. We're going to try and exchange some Moldovan cash for some Transnistrian rubles, because that's all we're going to be able to use here. The fortress was willing to take foreign currency because they're a tourist attraction, but most of these restaurants and cafes and other stuff here will not take anything other than rubles. So we're going to grab some rubles. Here we go. We found it. Exchange. 24/7 money exchange. I'm gonna turn the camera off. I'm not sure if we're allowed to film in here.
Спасибо.
Alright guys, we have successfully picked up Transnistrian rubles here, so we can take a look at what some of these bills look like. I mean, you could just tell right off the bat, like, they're definitely on the older side. None of these seem like freshly printed currency. Some of them are like folded or torn. Yeah, I mean, these are cool though. These are really sick. I mean, you can see they're printed in 2007, 2004.
2004.
Yeah, so these are all about 20 or so
This is that building.
years old.
Right there.
Oh, that's the big government building where the Lenin statue is. Well, we have rubles now, so we can actually buy stuff here.
25 bucks.
This is like $25 worth of rubles, which was 400 Moldova. Okay, so here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about, new versus old, right? You have a brand new shopping center here, looks super, super modern. Right across the street, you have another really modern glass building, but then right behind it, you have all these old Soviet apartment buildings that kind of look like they're falling apart, if you know what I mean.
Go there, inside like the living blocks, see the vibe.
Let's go see the vibe. I think Pavel's starting to get the itch for vlogging. He's like, we gotta go see the vibe, man. Looks like there's like a shop here, maybe a jewelry shop, right on the bottom floor of these apartments. That is an old car. It's got Russian license plates. Wow. Yeah, it's a Russian plate. Imagine this is the front door to your building.
Design.
And it just goes up and up, and you can see like all the stone and the concrete is cracking. All the wires run along the outside. Like, look at all of this. Yeah, the balconies with the fencing on it. And what's insane is literally not even 30 seconds ago, we were on the main street with that brand new shopping center and all the glass buildings and everything. And you walk 30 seconds and you're literally in the middle of a Soviet apartment block that has not been touched, basically, it looks like, in 40 years.
So, if you go like this, you can feel the real vibe,
100%,
Not
yeah.
the central street.
Yeah,
It's
this
still
is where-
center.
Yeah, but I mean, this is where people live. Like, it's where they spend their lives.
I'll show you some garages, metal garage. All of this, see?
Oh,
It's a Soviet thing, Soviet style.
yeah, you can see them all like lined up over there. Another very like standard Soviet building here. You can see all the discoloration of the concrete and the metal. If you ever want to go somewhere where you can really get up close and personal with old school brutalist architecture, this is the place. But see, everyone here just seems to be chill, going about their lives.
Yeah.
No problems.
No. Chill.
No one's bothering anybody. All right, so we had to put the camera down for a second. We realized we were walking past the Ministry of the Interior, so we didn't want to film that. But we are coming up here on this cafe. Pablo, what's it? How do you pronounce it?
Stolovka.
Stolovka. All right, so this is where we're gonna check out. It's supposed to be like a very Soviet era style restaurant, cantina kind of thing. So let's check it out. Here's the flag of Transnistria right on the wall here. Whoa. Everything in here is from at least 30 years ago.
Мы возьмем гречку с рыбой.
Две порции гречки с рыбой, да? Или одну порцию?
Две.
Okay, so we have gotten some food here that basically altogether I think cost us about $7 for both of these in Transnistrian rubles. So we have some chicken, we have some kind of beans, a piece of bread, and then this is like a fried fish and some other kind of grain, but not entirely sure like what they're cooked in or how they're cooked, what the sauces are or anything like that. We're just gonna get in there and try some Soviet food. All right, let's get into trying some of this food here. So we'll start with the obvious choice, the chicken. So here is the chicken. Again, I don't know what it's cooked in, but let's give it a go. Like you said, chicken is chicken. Mm-hmm. Tastes just like chicken, surprisingly. I'm interested to try some of these beans though. I know a lot of people don't like beans, but I usually do. So we got these beans right there. Let's give this a go. Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
There's something really familiar about them, but I can't place my finger on
Something
what.
with Mexican.
Yeah, there's a familiar ingredient in the sauce, but I can't figure out what it is.
Try this.
That's really good. These beans could be hotter, not gonna lie. I'm gonna give these a 6.5 out of 10. Would be a 7.5 if they were hotter. All right, now we're gonna try some of this buckwheat. It looks like there's some kind of like a carrot sauce on there. Never had buckwheat before, so let's try this. Oh. Yeah, that's really good.
You need to know how to cook it, because when it's plain, it's like
I can imagine without a sauce that's very bland.
yeah.
It almost reminds me of, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a grain that's common in the Middle East. I'll figure out the name and I'll put it on the screen here so you guys will know. It reminds me a lot of that. All right, now we're gonna try a piece of this fried fish here. Let's give this a go. Pretty good. I'm gonna get another bite with more of the batter on it.
I've been to many cantinas, and my score for this one 7.5.
All right, here's another bite of the fish with more of like the skin on it, so I can kind of taste some of the frying stuff. There we go. More seasoning there. Really good. I'm gonna go ahead and give the fish, give the fish also a 6.5 out of 10. All right, so all in all here, chicken was really good, but it was just chicken. The beans were good, but wish they were hotter. But again, we're here like right before they closed, so we kind of got what was left. Fish was pretty solid. And that buckwheat thing, actually the buckwheat thing might have been my favorite thing, strangely. All in all, I'm giving this whole cantina experience here, I'd say a good 7 out of 10. It does have a little bit of like a touristy kind of feel to it, but also knowing how few tourists actually come here, I don't know how touristy it actually is. But if you're in the area, come through. That was a good lunch. Pavel found a dessert place on Google Maps that he wants to try. So we're gonna walk right down the street here and pick up some dessert. No. No coffee.
No coffee, no alcohol.
No coffee, no alcohol.
No food.
Red Bull. That's what I drink if I need energy. All right, let's try. Let's see what Pavel came across here. Ooh, it's warm in here.
Oranges.
Orange.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do it at orange.
Fresh
Yeah.
orange.
And я возьму lemonade.
Look at these are on the wall. Look, we got McDonald's French fries on the wall.
This is a local artist, painter.
Oh,
Famous,
cool.
she's very
Really nice.
famous.
See, this is the place that the U.S. government issues a travel advisory against coming here. But we're sitting out here on a sidewalk cafe. I got fresh orange juice coming. Pavel has some kind of thing coming that I don't know what the hell
Cheesecake.
he ordered.
The
Yeah,
best cheesecake
The
from
best
Eastern
cheesecake.
Europe.
There we go. He's got the best cheesecake in Eastern Europe coming. We'll be the judge of that. And we're just out here in Transnistria having some dessert.
So I brought you 2 spoons.
Thank you very much.
Можно вопрос? А что можно еще посмотреть в Тирасполе, кроме центральной части города? Есть еще что-то интересное?
Мне вот мое любимое в Тирасполе это зеленый рынок, но он уже закрыт. Он до 3. Да, рынок, где вы можете попробовать увидеть, что, чем торгуют местные люди.
There is a market here, but it's closed.
Okay.
Спасибо.
Cool.
Наслаждайтесь.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that does look like a pretty solid cheesecake. What that is, it has a crazy amount of seeds in it. Oh my God.
What's the name of this fruit?
Uh,
Not blueberry, not strawberry.
Raspberry?
Raspberry.
Okay. So this is a raspberry, it's just like straight up raspberry juice?
Mint, lemon,
Oh, alright. Raspberries,
Very-
mint,
very-
and,
raw. It's raw.
yeah, I mean, it looks like there's so many seeds in there.
Yeah.
Jeez. It's good.
No sugar at all.
Well, there's a lot of sugar. It's just natural sugar.
No, actually no.
In a raspberry?
No.
Fruit has natural sugar.
Try it. Try it.
All right. We're going to try this. Pavel says does not have sugar. There's no way. That is really interesting. Yeah, it doesn't have any added sugar,
No.
but it has natural sugar.
Yes, but it's not sweet.
I will say it's not as sweet as I expected. I expected it to be
Try
way
it.
sweeter.
This is sweet.
All right, now we're gonna go in with some of this cheesecake. I'm not gonna lie, this looks good. It looks like there's a solid crust on there. You got the chocolate on the top. Let's see how this goes. Going in for just a double check. Just a double check.
Best cheesecake in Eastern Europe.
The woman said it was the best cheesecake in Eastern Europe. I don't think I can disagree. I mean, granted, again, I'm a very recent convert to cheesecake. I didn't like it for a long time, and only recently have I started to. But I'd order that any day. That's really good. I would definitely give that a 9 out of 10. Now let's get into this orange juice, because this is what I actually ordered. Fresh squeezed orange juice. You could see there's a couple of seeds, some pulp in there. Let's give this a go. That, my friends, is the freshest orange juice I've ever had in my life. That's really good. Just pure, fresh squeezed orange juice. And you know what? It's actually not as pulpy as I would have expected it to be. Normally,
Very good.
yeah, normally like fresh squeezed orange juice has a lot of pulp in it. It seems like they filtered a lot of it out. So you kind of just get that pure juice. Giving that an 8 out of 10 for the orange juice. You know, guys, I'll tell you, this little shop here is so cute. It's just on the street here. I mean, literally just chilling on the sidewalk. It's called Coffee and Vinyl here in Tiraspol, Transnistria. And if you ever find yourself here, I highly recommend coming here. The woman working here is super friendly. It seems like she does speak a little bit of English. She was able to tell me a couple of things in English about the menu. And yeah, just really, really chill vibes. The weather's gorgeous. We're just chilling out here. enjoying some drinks, enjoying some cheesecake. Highly recommend coming through if you find yourself in the area, which you should, because this city's amazing. All right, now we're gonna walk back to the car. I'm so happy we did this.
Yeah, me too.
This is amazing.
First time walking around Tiraspol.
Yeah, this is incredible. My first time in Transnistria, your first time in Tiraspol.
Nice city.
So we've now had our lunch, we've had our dessert. Honestly, it's kind of dinner. It's like after 5:30 already. So we spent a couple of hours here between Bender Fortress and Tiraspol, the capital of Transnistria. And I'm going to be honest, this was an incredible time. I am so glad that we did this. We had no problems at the border. Everybody here has been so friendly. The woman at the coffee shop was super, super nice. Highly recommend that you go there. The place is called Coffee and Vinyl. I'm going to pop the Instagram for the place right there on the bottom of the screen. So make sure that you stop by if you find yourself in Tiraspol, which you should. I know that a lot of governments have travel advisories against coming here. You, of course, have to make your own decisions on what your risk tolerance is, but I can tell you, for me, I have felt perfectly safe this entire time. I've had no problems. Nobody's even looked at me sideways. It's been just an absolutely wonderful day. Perfect weather, perfect people, a very, very nice city. And I could not recommend that you come here more. And one other thing I'm going to add here is that I really do believe that there is a big difference between the people and the government and the way that media portrays different places and different people, right? So I do believe that you have to travel to places and experience things for yourself. And I can highly recommend that you come here and check this place out, because I have had nothing but an incredible experience all the way around. So with that said, I'm gonna leave you there. I'm Brandon in transit. I will see you on the next one. Make sure you like, comment down below where I should do this next, and subscribe to the channel. I got a lot more content coming your way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Peace.